My brother Scouts, I want to remind you in a very few words of what your duty is as Scouts, apart from merely living in camp, cooking your own grub, and playing Scout games. First of all, of course, you are trusted on your honor to do your best to carry out the Scout promise, which is, first, to work for God and the King, secondly, to help other people, thirdly, to keep the Scout law. In addition to this, I want each one of you to help the great Scout movement by making yourself so good a Scout that you will later on be a Scoutmaster yourself. Remember what Lord Kitchener said of a Scout. Once a Scout, always a Scout. Don't forget, a very important part of your duty is quite a small thing, and that is to do a good turn to somebody every day. And now to you, Scoutmasters. You are doing a valuable work for the boys in training them to have character. You are doing a valuable work for the country, since you are making good citizens for the future. And you are doing much to prevent the present disgraceful waste of human materials in showing your poorer brothers how to be good, successful men. You are also doing good to yourselves, because your only successful way of training your boys is to lead them by your own example in all things. In this way, you develop in yourself patience and pluck in the face of difficulties and discouragement. You practice a kindly feeling for others. You exercise loyalty and self-sacrifice, which cannot fail to make you yourself a better man and a better citizen. And now to you who are friends of the Scouts, may I say one word. Everybody admires the work of single-hearted, patriotic men. But do not be content to look on at others playing their part. Play the game yourselves. You have your chance. It is quite open to every one of you, man, woman, or child, to do something for your country, even if you only show your appreciation of what the Boy Scouts are trying to do towards turning themselves into good men. Take them seriously. Help them in any way you can, by a pat on the back when they do well. We want more young men and even young women to come forward as Scoutmasters. There is work for all, and good work. By encouraging these lads, you will be doing a great thing, not only for them, your younger brothers, but also for your country and for the empire. Brother workers, commissioners, Scoutmasters, and Cubmasters, I have been thinking of your work lately, and I have come to the conclusion that you are building better than possibly you know, or at any rate better than you knew when you first took your place in what is now a great brotherhood of service. It is a fine show, and it is growing in importance as it widens its influence day by day. But I notice that as the public realize more and more its aims and possibilities, so more and more they expect to see really effective results on the boys. They judge the movement by this. Thus, a responsibility rests on the Scoutmaster greater than was formerly the case for giving the right application of our methods to his boys. To ensure this, the first essential is that Scoutmasters themselves, as well as their commissioners, should have thoroughly grasped the ideals we aim for, the reasons for the various steps in the training, and the meaning that underlies them. To this end, the opening of our Gilwell Park Training School is, to my mind, the most important step that has occurred in the history of the movement since its inauguration. I venture to hope that every commissioner, scoutmaster, and cubmaster who is unable to attend the Gilwell Park course himself will take steps to gain the latest particulars by availing himself of the help now open to him through instructors who have been through that training. In addition to what I have said in aid to scoutmastership, I should like to emphasize the importance of developing in the boys these two qualities, patience and self-elimination. I have seen in my time more careers wrecked through want of patience than through drink, gambling, or any other vice. By self-elimination, I mean that selfless service for others of which you yourselves are giving so pregnant a personal example. You are doing a big thing for God, for your country, and your kind, and I warmly wish you all further success. Fellow parents, I feel sure that many of you will have felt, as I do, the heavy responsibility that rests on one as regards the future of our children. We have seen people succeed in life, and we have seen them fail. We want our youngsters to be among the successful ones, and we know that it largely depends on their upbringing and character whether they fail or succeed, and their upbringing and character depends very largely on us. Many of us feel our responsibility in the matter, and at the same time our helplessness. We are not trained teachers. We have little leisure. We cannot afford high fees. Yet, for these temporary disabilities on our part, our children's future is in danger. We send them to the best school we can afford, but schooling gives them so many hours of reading, writing, and arithmetic, which is not all that goes to make success in a man's career. Look at the many notable men who have risen from nothing. It was not the 3 R's that got them on. What was it? It was character. How can we get character training? The best authorities tell us it is not a thing that can be taught to a class in a school. The Boy Scout movement has been expressly designed to meet this want, and in the 12 years of its existence, it has proved its ability to capture the boy and, through activities which appeal to him, to develop him in these 4 main lines. First, character and intelligence. Secondly, health and physical development. Thirdly, hobbies and handicrafts. Fourthly, unselfish service for others. A youngster joins one of the 3 branches of the movement, the Junior Wolf Cub, the Middle Boy Scouts, or the Senior Rovers, according to his age, between 8 and 18. Healthy companionship and activities are assured, and personal supervision given by the Scoutmaster, so that his character develops on the right lines for his own good, and what is more, for that of the community as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been asked to explain to you what the Boy Scout movement is. It is a tall order to compress into 3 minutes talk an ideal that is being followed by over 1.5 million of boys. The movement primarily is a brotherhood of service of boys and men, a school of character and citizenship, of personal efficiency for the good of the community. This sounds highfalutin for what is, as we know it, a band of bare-kneed rascals with cowboy hats and staves in their hands. But remember, you cannot give them character through ordinary classroom methods. You have to use other means. The boys are eager to join in a jolly game of brothership with its healthy camp life and handy pioneer training. Their moral character is developed by our method of self-government under a code of chivalry in the Scout law. Their spiritual character is developed by their being brought face to face with the wonders and beauties of nature. The boy is naturally active rather than passive in temperament, and we give him opportunities of performance rather than of profession. Scouts make themselves efficient, not merely for their own good, but in order to be helpful to the community. In other words, they train to be good citizens. Character is far more essential to a successful career of a man. Character in its individual members is essential for the character of the nation, and character in the nation is similarly essential to its welfare. As a school for character, therefore, the Scout movement is non-military, non-sectarian, non-political, and non-class. On these lines, the movement has come in the space of 12 years to be adopted by every civilized country. The brotherhood spirit has thus grown up automatically. It is forming a personal tie not only between the states of the British Commonwealth, but also between the different foreign countries. It may just supply that soul which is needed to make the form of the League of Nations a living force, such as will render war impossible in the future. The movement is growing every day in size and in effect. All we want are more men in this great brotherhood of service to do this joyous work for God, their country, and the boy. A work that all who try it can testify is well worth while. Scouts, why are you so beastly proud of yourselves? You are, you know, however much you may grin and say that you are not. It's not the uniform, and it's not the badges. Those are all swanks, and a scout is not swanky, though he may be proud. I think you are proud because you know this, that although you are only a boy, you can, through your training as a scout, do a man's work and show a man's pluck when the call comes. You proved this in the Great War. 28,000 of you took up the duties of coast watching, and others of you did other duties in your thousands, thereby releasing a large number of men to go to the front. 100,000 of you who were old enough, or nearly old enough, joined up and went on service. 10,000 never came back, but gave their lives for the country. Jack Cornwall, P.C., was a Boy Scout, and so were 11 others who won the Victoria Cross. Those are the things that make you proud of being in our great brotherhood of Scouts. Now, those of you who are tenderfoot or second class must remember this and carry out your motto, be prepared. That is, to train yourselves to be strong, active, and clever, because then, if at any time you are called upon, you know you will be able to lend a hand and do man's work for other people and for your country. I don't mean that you should train especially to be soldiers or sailors, but to be what is better still, good, useful, cheerful citizens. That is what you should aim for. Practice the scout law in your everyday life. Don't merely know the law by heart. Do it, and you will be happier boys and better men. Think daily on your promise as a scout, to do your duty to God and the King, to obey the scout law, and to help other people at all times. Good luck to you, and good camping.